Hello, welcome back everybody, and today in my channel I'm going to talk about how to find a second job during your work and travel in United States. As you can see here, these are the two videos where I talk about my work and travel experience as well as a short video on where do I went during my work and travel experience in United States. And I believe most of you guys have heard on how to maximize your earnings while working and travel in United States. And how can you maximize your earnings? That is by looking for a second job while you are there. According to the labor law by United States, each employee are only allowed to work up to maximum 40 hours per employer. So if you are to get a job in United States, your first job, you are only allowed to work a maximum of 40 hours, and anything more than 40 hours mark would be considered as overtime. If you were to work over 40 hours, say you have marched into the 41st or 42nd hour, you are subject to the overtime payment, which is 1.5 times your basic salary if it's according to Colorado state of law. So if the maximum that you could work is 40 hours per week, how are you supposed to earn more? And that is by looking for a second job, which allows you to push your work hours up to 60 or 70 hours per week if you are willing to work. So what I did is, at my first job, I worked for 40 hours. And for my second job, I worked around roughly 20 hours. So it totals up to 60 hours of work per week. And that is the maximum capacity that I could maximize my earnings. Today, I'm going to share with you the tips and tricks to look for a second job in your work and travel place. The first step and the easiest step to do it is to walk into the shop and ask for work opportunities. So when you have the time after work, you walk into the store in town and ask whether if you have any openings for a summer position. And if you're lucky, you would be able to meet the shop owner who can directly tell you whether if there's a job opening or not. Else, usually you would meet the shop personnel who would also take down your details. They will ask you to fill up a form, and then later on they will contact you back if they were to have an opening. Of course, this would be a very challenging step. You would need to back up your self-confidence while walking in to ask, but this is also the best bet to know whether the shop itself has a second job opportunity for you or not. The second way that you could do to find a second job is by connections. So connections is not only applicable in your career, in your professional career. However, this step is also applicable for your summer work and travel job searching. And this method is the method that I actually found my second job as a server in another restaurant. So I asked around my colleagues in my first job to know whether where they are working as their second job, and to ask them to build a connection with their bosses so that I could also land a second job at their place. And that is how I landed my second job. The third step I would probably do is also bringing my resume around while I was job searching. However, I would say most of the time they would not want to see your resume, but in that case, most of the time they would ask you to fill up a form, an employment form, to gather your information, to know your work hours, to know a bit of your background. So I believe bringing a resume and also having your passport and your visa details would help you during your filling up process of the form, which you don't have to come back another day to complete the missing details that you don't remember. Usually after you fill up the form, you would leave the place, and fingers crossed that they will call you back on the second job opportunity. But if you did not hear from them, it's also better if you walk back to the store and ask if whether the application is still open or what happened to the application. Last but not least, I wouldn't call this a step, but I would call this as a tip, is that do not be afraid to apply for a second job. Start as early as you can when you arrive there during your first week of work, as well as to brush up on your English before going to the work and travel program. Because I think being able to speak good English along the way gives you a higher opportunity to land a server job, which which gives you a lot more leverage to be a server, which allows you to work and earn from tips instead of hourly wages. And it is okay to receive rejections, and it's not because of your problem per se sometimes. Sometimes it's also because there are no job openings or you are not the right candidate suited for the job. There must be something out there for you, and you must keep searching and keep looking. And do not be too picky on your second job opportunity. Just take whatever there is and start working to maximize your earnings in United States. In the end, to conclude, is that there is no right or wrong choices on whether you need to get a second job or not. It is up to your personal preferences to whether to take it easy during your work and travel, to enjoy it all the time, or to work as much as you can during the 3 months so that you could maximize your earnings for your travel during that 1 month period. Or you can also save up that amount of money and bring back to your home country for future planning ahead. Lastly, I would like to thank you guys for watching this short video on how to find a second job, and I wish you good luck on your journey there in looking for your second job. If you like more content like this, please like and subscribe to my channel and comment down below on what you would like to know about work and travel or other content. So I'll see you again soon.